Hello, and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We're looking at Tesla once again. Things have gotten from bad to worse to slightly not that bad today. If we look, Tesla was up 1.05%. Now, the crazy thing about it is that the volume, it had 74 million shares traded today, which is actually not that many, which is why I find it to be so surprising that this was what brought Tesla onto the most active list for Yahoo Finance today. Now, if we go ahead and look, you can see the 5-day, the 15-day, the 1 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, and the 1 year, all incredibly negative. Now, if we go ahead and look at the raw data here for Tesla, one of the things that I like to always point out is, do you see, and I brought it up just earlier, but if you look, you have a sea of red across the 5-day, 15-day, 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month consistently. Now, the reason why that's important is because even though it's just a simple visual cue in terms of green or red here, a long-term rolling negative return on the 1 month is never indicative of future price like gains. And the reason why is because you may say that past performance is not predictive of the future, but if you're looking at a time series data set, it actually can be quite predictive, especially if you believe in math. Now, if we're looking at the 1 month when it all went negative, it all went to shit here, it was on the 5th of March when it was at $180. And 3 days before, it was over 200 and it was at 180 very, very quickly. Now, this wouldn't be a concern if you thought that there was a overall market trend which was going to be helping Tesla. And I don't know about necessarily the fundamentals today, but in the previous video that I did today, I reviewed Lucid. And Lucid, while it's still a piece of trash relative as like a car company and the way the stock is actually acting, the type of behavior that you saw in Lucid should have been reflected in Tesla as the market leader in the EV space. If we can't get over $200 in Tesla, that's quite a concern, especially considering that 200 at one point was support, it was resistant, or it was support, it was resistance, it used to be support. And if we look at the older charts, specifically of Tesla, we can see that $200, which is right here, $200 has actually for a long time been support back in 2021. It was support again in 2022. It was then the thing that broke in 2022. We couldn't break through it in 2023 until we did. And then it was supposed to be support again. And now we cannot regain anything over 200, which is quite a concern. So looking back at the raw data here, you can see that on the short term, we're still go short. In the intermediate term, still go short. Longer term, go short. We are bearish across the board. Now, this bullishness, I don't want to ignore because it does have short-term bullishness. This means that the bullish behavior we've seen in the past few days is much higher than the bullish behavior or the bearish behavior that we've seen over the past like month and a half. But things are still not looking great. And if we look at the actual trade range here, we're still below the 5-day. Right? Or the 5-day moving average, which is 172.65. We couldn't even break that. We're still below the 23-day, which is at 180. And if we look at where this is actually going, things don't look like they're getting better. If we look at the rolling sentiment, it is bearish. It is falling bearish and still getting bad. It is not able to really break up above like what, 52%. We haven't seen the highs in Tesla in terms of the sentiment in a very, very long time. Now, if we look at the overall trading signals, this is even more concerning. The most recent signal we have is a sell at 163. Not very strong because we don't have many bear key 3. We do have a big bear, we do have a small bear, we have a swift bear, which is quite concerning, and we have a 1 month bear trigger. Now, these don't mean much to you, but just take it from a random guy on the internet whose video you're watching that these signals mean something to me. And if you've made it this far, you can tell that that's negative because look at what's happening to the price of Tesla. Now, if we want to look at this from the rolling sentiment, we can see it's still rolling over. It's under 50%. Now, this generally will want to be in the yin and yang in the sense of like it wants to be balanced. But when you get a roll, that's really hard to come out of until you let it completely resolve itself. If we look at the volume, it is falling off of a cliff as the price is falling, which means you're just seeing a lack of demand and a lack of enthusiasm around the stock. We can see the volatility is breaking out. The correlation is diving, which is not good. So the correlation is going down while the volatility is rising. That means you're going to get even faster drops in price. Now, if you look at the trade range, one of the things that I like to point out, one of the most important things to me is this like a higher high or a higher low in terms of the trade range? Now, since we're bearish on Tesla, we are looking for lower lows in the range. Specifically, the higher lows aren't as big of a deal. You're looking for when the lower low is getting lower and lower. And the reason why is because normally, so if you think back to here, you would have thought that the price would have actually bounced to the top of the range, but because it's bearish, it actually will follow the bottom of the range as the volatility breaks out. Now, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but here's what I'm going to show you. I'm working on a different product, which is specific to some really high-end like stocks to look at. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because the Google Finance data that you see me use if you watch any of my videos is not super reliable. But I found another data provider, and I can essentially put the most important pieces of my model into a Chrome extension that I haven't gotten the ability to necessarily verify yet, but I'm going to give you access to it very, very soon. And I'm actually going to give you access. And I'll show you at the end of this video. But this here, this is the most recent data for today. What you can tell is, again, it's bearish, which is what we want to know. And we see we have a lower low in the bottom of the range. Now, that's a quite concern. We can see that we are at $148 at the bottom of the range. The top of the range is at 213. I don't care about the top of the range when we have it bearish. What I care about is where's the bottom going. And the bottom is dropping out on Tesla. And this is quite concerning. Now, if you're looking like, oh, how can I get access to this? Well, what I do is every single day, and I'll show you, every single day I actually give access to these 20 plus stocks plus these sectors. And what you can do is if you're interested, you can go check out bootlegmacro.gumroad 1/EE. You'll be brought exactly to this page here. And what you're going to receive, first off, I give you a 1 month free trial. Random guy on the internet. Completely get it. Why would you trust me? You don't have to worry about it. You get a 1 month free trial. If it sucks, cancel. I don't even get your money. I don't care. I just actually think that this tool is important. And the reason why is because I don't think that people are looking at the way that these stocks are moving properly. People are getting so swept up into the idea like, I like Tesla. I'm not saying I have a problem with Tesla. I don't even mind Elon that much. My concern is that when I look, it's incredibly bearish and the lows of the range are dropping, which means that the price, even if we're getting these moves up where we're going from like 163 to 175, we're coming back down. It doesn't matter what I say. The math is very, very clear. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, if you're still here and you're not subscribed to the New High newsletter, what are you doing? We send you 25 stocks in your inbox every single Sunday, stocks between $5 and $20, stocks breaking out to 1 year highs, stocks breaking out to all-time highs. It is a great list to get your trading week started. I'll talk to you soon.